Hello neighbor, Alicia Dolan here at Creating in My Corner. I am here for your Sunday night free card class. We're running a little behind. Thank you for your patience with that. I took a nap today and maybe I shouldn't have because I slept longer than I planned. So tonight we are going to make some cards using the Homemade Treats stamp set and die bundle by Stampin' Up. I don't know exactly what they're going to be yet. I'm pretty sure about the first one, but we'll see where it goes. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we'll get started with our cards. Okay. See, all my stuff is a little out of sorts, but not too bad, really. All right, first, we're going to make a card. I'm kind of in a pink mood today, so even though this is a Christmas set, we can switch it up and we can make it any color we want. So we're going to start with a Pretty in Pink cardstock base. And we're going to cut this 8.5 by 5.5. And then we're going to turn it sideways and we're going to score that at 4 1/4. Now we could just fold it in half, but I like to score it first because I like how nice and smooth that makes it. And then we'll just give it a quick press with our bone folder. And that is going to be our card base. Now, our next layer, we want to be basic white. And we're going to cut a piece that's 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, there's our 5 1/4. Give it a turn and cut it at 4. Okay, this is going to be our next layer. I know I just saw my silicone mat. There it is. Okay, here is my silicone mat. So I can do some stamping and a little piece of scrap paper because the silicone mat won't dry right away, and so if I stamp directly on it and don't wipe it off, that can transfer onto my card, and I'm gonna try to avoid that. All right, so now we're going to stamp on some white paper. A few of these little gingerbread men, gingerbread people, because they're not necessarily men. They can be whatever kind of people we want them to be, right? And I have some, let's see, I think I have a little scrap over here. And we can stamp some gingerbread. We could probably stamp a whole gingerbread crew if we wanted to. But let's just stamp 3. All right. And then from some basic gray, or let's see here. I think this is smoky slate. Let's cut ourselves out a little baking tray. Now in the dies, in the Homemade Treats dies, there is a little tray, a rolling pin, a mitten, a frosting bag, some candy canes, some little hats, and this is like a cookie dough spot. I don't know what you would call that, but like a whole thing of cookie dough. All right, first we're going to cut out our little tray. And I'm going to get a little sponge dauber, and I'm going to sponge my little gray cookie sheet. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit so you can see that a little better. That would be right here. All right. I'm just going to tap my sponge dauber in my ink, and then I'm going to ink up the edges of my cookie sheet so that it looks like I've been using it for some baking. Now, if you don't have the dies, you could definitely cut out a little rectangle for a cookie sheet. Okay, just like that. And then we'll cut out our gingerbread people. There are in the set 2 gingerbread dies, so you can cut 2 gingerbread people at once. Here's 2 gingerbread, and we need 1 more. Okay, here are our 3 little gingerbread people. I just say gingerbread men because that's what I'm used to. Okay. Now, on our, let's see, here's our, let me zoom back out. There you go. So you can see what I'm doing. Here's our gingerbread people. And I am going to use I must have left my pink brush upstairs, so I need a new brush. Okay, I have a little blending brush and I'm gonna get my pretty and pink ink. And I'm going to add this to the center of my card. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to swirl my brush in the ink. I'm trying to get it where it's a little more obvious. And then I'm going to swirl it on a little acrylic block and then onto my cardstock. Just like this. And if you swirl a little bit at a time, you're not going to notice it a lot at first. But if you add a lot of ink at once, it tends to be a little more splotchy. So it depends on what look you're trying to achieve. If you want it to be fairly smooth, which is what we're going for this time, you just want to swirl it on a little bit at a time. Okay, and then once we have the level of background that we are looking for, I think I want a little bit more on this side. Okay, next we're going to take our Wink of Stella brush, and this is a glitter brush. For if you don't know, it's one of the greatest tools for making your cards sparkly. Now we're going to take this brush and we are going to scrape it along the edge of its lid and kind of flick little splotches of sparkle all over our card. Okay, and then I'll pick it up so you can see that. Can you see those little, sometimes you can't really see them, but there's like little glittery spots all over the cardstock. Now we're going to set that aside to dry for just a minute before we keep stamping on it. And then I think we'll stamp a little rolling pin. I need to clean that off first because I did swirl all that pink ink on it. Okay. All right. So now we'll grab another piece of scrap. Let's see. Oh, my rolling pin will not fit on that one. Okay, let's stamp our rolling pin, and we want it to be a little different color than our gingerbread men. So let's stamp that in pecan pie. There we go. And then we'll cut that out. All right, here we have our little rolling pin. And we are going to take these little sprinkles here and stamp these on our card. On our white, little basic white layer. Now, our little baking sheet is going to go like this with our little rolling pin hanging off the side. So what we want is our little sprinkles to be all around where, or maybe it should be a little more like that. We'll decide about that in a minute. But we want our little sprinkles to be all around here. So what I'm going to do is scoot my little tray down and grab my Pretty in Pink ink, and then we're going to stamp our sprinkles so that we'll be able to see them. And I'm just going to turn them a little bit different way each way around. Okay. All right, there we go. And then that will sit right in the middle. Okay. And then I want my sentiment. I think, I think I want it in this pecan pie. So let's do 'Tis the Season for Baking. And we're going to stamp this directly on our piece of cardstock, just like that. Okay, now what we'll do, what will we do? I think we're going to put this right on our card. So let's put on our liquid glue. Remember, we're going to do a thin line around the edge. You don't need a lot, and then a squiggle down the middle. You always want to leave a little, at least a little edge, so that you can grab onto that piece of card. And flip it over and adhere it right on the front. Okay, now for our tray, and we're going to pop this up. So we need our Stampin' Dimensionals, which are over here. And we're going to put on 3. One, I think 3 will be good. Just like that. Okay, here is our little baking tray. I wonder if one of our little gingerbread should go up here. Maybe they should. I think so. Okay. And we're going to use mini dimensionals on those because they don't really need a full dimensional. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to put our rolling pin on, but I'm not sure where yet, so I'm not going to put my dimensionals on until I know. All right, I have to move my little trash can over here. I feel like I'm stretching a little too far to get to my trash today. Okay, let's put one gingerbread man up here, gingerbread person. Let's put 2 on our little baking sheet. And then, oh, you know what? Our rolling pin could go right here. I kind of like it up there. What do you think? Down here or up there? I don't see any comments. So, and it doesn't, I can't tell if anyone is watching tonight. So if I ask you and you tell me, might not be until later. A little too late. I do feel like the rolling pin should go up there though. So let's do that. If you're watching along later and you want to put your rolling pin somewhere else, you feel free to do that. All right, we're gonna put it right here, just like that. And there's our first card. Now this is a pretty simple card. We didn't add a whole lot of embellishments or anything, but I think it's really cute and it would be great to send to anyone. All right, there is our first card. I'm going to sit it, let's see, right up here at the top. And let's see what else we can make. Okay, let's do an early espresso card base. Well, I'm gonna leave that out for right now because I may need it again. All right, and we'll make this one the same size as the last. So we're going to cut it here at 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, and then we're going to score it at 4.25. Okay. And fold it, give it a press. Okay, and then let's do a pretty in pink layer this time. Okay, so let's do this one, 5.25 by 4. Oh, uh-oh. I didn't get all the way to the top there. There. Okay, 5.25. 5.4. And that'll go next. And then let's do some early espresso, and this time we're gonna do 3.25 by 4.25. Okay, and then we need a piece of white, basic white, that's 3 by 4. I wonder if this one is pretty close, but not quite. So we'll trim it down just a little bit. Okay. So now we've got a piece that is 4 by 3. Okay. Let's see. This time, let's do let's stamp. Let's stamp a Lost Lagoon mitten. You know what? I think that's too dark. That's not, it's not exactly what I want with my pink. Let's see. I said it's too dark, but I'm gonna do your early espresso for my mitten, which is even darker, but I just changed my mind. That definitely happens sometimes when I'm stamping. Yep, I think I'm gonna like that a lot better. Okay, here is our, let's see, I think it's gonna have to go, I don't know if it's gonna fit, so I'm gonna get a bigger piece. Just because I'm not sure. All right, so let's stamp an early espresso mitten. And then a pretty in pink frosting. Okay. And this time, how about a crumb cake rolling pin? Okay. All right, now we're going to cut those out with our dies. Okay, here are our pieces. So we have a little frosting, a little mitten, and a rolling pin. And then let's take our background piece and we're going to emboss it. So we're going to emboss it with the, let's emboss our pink with the plaid embossing folder. Okay. Now this is a 3D embossing folder, so you do need the specialty plate to use with that. It looks like this. And then let's take our 3x4 white and we'll add some pretty and pink ink again. Okay, so we're going to, and this time we're going to put it right on the card and just kind of splotch it and swirl it around. So if you can hear that, I'm kind of tapping it on there. This time I want it to be a little messy, where before I wanted it to be as smooth as I could get it. Then I'll just swirl it around and kind of blend it in. Okay. There we go. Our piece of white is all pinked up. And we are going to add that to this to here, and then our mitten and our bag of frosting and our rolling pin, and then we need to stamp our sentiment, and this time we'll do "It's beginning to taste like Christmas." And Christmas does have a special taste, doesn't it? Hi, Janelle. I'm glad to see you. I'm making some cards with the homemade treats bundle this time. All right, and let's stamp our sentiment using the early espresso. We missed you at card class on Friday. I know you had stuff going on. All right, let's stamp our sentiment. Okay, and then I'm gonna wait just a minute for it to dry because I'm gonna fussy cut that. And I know that my fingers have been smudging things lately, probably because, I don't know, because I keep having to put on lotion now that it's fall and it's cold and we have the heat on. Everything is dry. My hands are dry. all the time. All right, let's put that away. And then I feel like I need some ribbon for this, but I don't know that I have. Let me see what I have. Fluffy ribbon. Okay. I do not have any pink ribbon, and that's really what I wanted. So I think we're going to try taking this white ribbon and adding some pink to it. Now this is just called white ribbon. There's no special name for it, but we're just going to use our blending brush and try to add some pink to it. If I had the Stampin' Blends or Stampin' Write Pretty in Pink, I would use that, but I don't. Well, I think that's working pretty good though. Well, we'll know in a minute. All right, let me turn it over. Get it on the other side. I was a little bit late tonight because I took a nap this afternoon and I kind of slept longer than I planned. So I didn't get started right at 4:30. I started a little bit later. Alright, I'm putting my little stamps away here. I may need to get them back out again. Okay. Let's see. I'm just going to make a little bow. Alright, and when I make a bow, I'll show you what I do just so you can see. I loop up the side on the left, and then I take my ribbon, I wrap it around behind, and then tuck it through the middle. Now I know other people, some people do the bunny ears method. There are lots of different ways to make a bow, but this is the way I've found works for me almost every time. Okay. I need to trim that off because I didn't go quite far enough on my pink additions. There we go. There. So sometimes when you have a white ribbon, you can add some ink to it just to get the color that you're looking for. There we go. And I'm going to fussy cut my words. Okay, just like that. And if you are fussy cutting and you have trouble cutting your words, it sometimes helps to take a pencil and just outline around them where you want to cut first and then cut them out. I have definitely done that before. Okay, and then around the edges of my sentiment, I'm just going to sponge a little bit of crumb cake ink. Now, if you want to get this class for free, I will send it to you if you place a $35 order this week and choose me as your demonstrator by Saturday. Saturday would be the, let's see, if I said 22nd, I think. Is that right? 5 and 7? Yeah, I think so. 22nd. But if you have any questions about that, let me know. And I'll send you the card bases, the die cuts. Everything will be embossed. You'll just have to stamp and put it together. You will have to have the bundle because you're going to want to stamp these before you cut them. So you would want to have that. But I'll send you the paper to stamp them on. Okay, let's put this card together. Okay, and first we're going to glue on our embossed Pretty in Pink. And remember, we embossed that with the plaid. We'll put a little bit of glue around the edge. And then a squiggle down the middle. And see how I left that little spot for my finger? I need something to hold on to when I'm turning these over. And so I always try to leave a little spot that I can hold on to. Okay. There's that. Oh, I'm going to need that glue again. I'm not sure why I put it away. Okay, we're going to do the same thing with our 3x4 white. We're going to put on a thin line of glue around the edge and a squiggle down the middle. Okay, now we're going to put some dimensionals on this. So, and I'm going to use the regular size ones for that. I like to have regular and mini Stampin' Dimensionals. They each have their uses. But to be honest, if I could only choose one, I would get the minis. Just because you can use those anywhere. And the larger ones, you would have to cut smaller in order to use them in a small spot. You can do that. I have done it before. But sometimes it's nice just to have the right size already. And the mini ones you can cut in half and even have mini Stampin' mini. I don't know. But you could have a lot of them anyways. Okay. We are going to put our little, let's see, which way should they go? Maybe like that. Looks good. Okay. I'm going to put, let's see, I'm going to put mini glue dots on this one. Because I'm going to put that one flat. I think I'll do that. I'll put that one flat. I'll put this one flat, this rolling pin. So then the rolling pin and the frosting bag are flat, and let's pop up our oven mitt. And we could just put a big one on that right in the center. Okay. Just like that. And then here's our, it's beginning to taste like Christmas. So we're going to pop that up with our dimensionals. Okay, and we can attach that. I kind of think it should go right here in the middle. Let's put it right there. And then we'll get a mini glue dot and attach our bow. There we go. Oh, I kind of pull it a little when I did that. Right there, like that. Okay, now I feel like it needs a few little sparkly gems. Let's see. What do we have? All right, let's see. What do we think? These? Or the? I think these little sparkly pearls. Okay, these are the iridescent pearls. Thank you, Georgette. Did you see the first one? Well, let me show you. It's right up here. So I'm kind of in pink mode tonight. So we could put some pearls on this one too, really. But let's add these iridescent pearls. And then we'll do one more. Maybe we'll do some Christmas colors. Not that pink can't be a Christmas color, but it's definitely not like a traditional Christmas color. At least I don't think so. I guess I don't know 100% what traditional Christmas is. All right, let's do 2. These remind me of those little shiny candies that you put on cookies sometimes. I don't know what they're called. They're like little round shiny, probably bits of sugar, I suppose. Okay. So there are our first 2 cards. We have one more to go. All right. Okay. There are the first 2. And then let's do one that's more traditional Christmas colors, okay? So let's get some shall we do garden green? That seems Christmassy. I do love when other people cook too, you know. I don't mind cooking. It doesn't bother me. What I don't like about it is that once you're done, you have to clean everything up. And that just feels like a huge lot of work to me. But I like baking. I like baking, and I like cookie decorating, you know. Okay, so I cut that at 4 1/4, and now I'm going to score it at 5 1/2. In fact, I was thinking I really would like to set up or go to this season a cookie decorating class, and I'm hoping my friend Karen will have one, but she hasn't said anything about it lately, and I know she just got back from traveling, and so maybe she's not planning anything like that, but I sure would like it if she did. So we'll see. All right, this time let's do definitely think I want some candy canes. Let's see what we've got. Oh, I really want to use this folder. This is the, what's it called? I think Dotted Circles folder. Okay, let's cut our piece 5 1/4 by 4, and this is Garden Green again. And let's emboss it with these dots. And I'm going to try to get it pretty much in the center this time. All right, here we go. I am really liking this stamp set, and I thought if I made all the cards with one set this time, then people could order that one set and be good to go. You know, they could get the card class, get the one set, make all the cards, and so many more, because you know you can case and change all those things. Okay, there's that, and then I want a circle. So let's use our stylish shapes, because that is always a great circle. Okay, and this is the bigger one, so I'm gonna cut that out. Let's see, it's about 3 inches, so you need about a 3-inch circle. That's true. Sometimes those non-traditional colors do stand out. It's different, you know. Sometimes you want something different. Okay, and we are gonna make some little candy canes this time. Let's see, what else? Candy canes. You know what I should have made as a tag? A tag would be really cute, but too late now. We've already started this. We're already on our way. Okay, I'm gonna put the sprinkles back on because I feel like I'm gonna want some sprinkles. And here is my candy cane. Okay, now on our little circle, I lost my mat for a second. Let's stamp some of these little sprinkles, and we're going to stamp them in green. Are we going to stamp them in green? Yes. I really like that Lost Lagoon for Christmas. I'm not sure why this year it did dry too, lighter than I expected. So I would have probably put that on my first card with the pink. Okay, let's put some sprinkles on our circle. And I'm stamping off, so I feel like I should have been turning it so they all go different ways. Oh, and I forgot to stamp off. It's fine, it's fine. I've never heard of that. So I know you told me about that before, Love Grows, but I've never heard of it. I don't know if there are candy making classes, but I know Karen taught some cookie making classes. So not making, but decorating. And that's really the funnest part for me. I like choosing their frosting and sprinkles and stuff. So in fact, I went to a Christmas party. I don't remember if it might have just been last year, and I won a prize for the best decorated cookie. So that was kind of fun. All right, there is that with our little sprinkles all over. And then we're gonna add our candy cane. So I need a red. Add red. I know, those dots are cool, aren't they? They look really neat. And depending on where you put them on the card, it's kind of cool. Oh, Tasty Layers. You know, I haven't seen anything from them lately. I used to get all kinds of little notifications, but I haven't seen anything lately. And sometimes Hannah and I go to that Big B that's right there by the Tasty Layers. It's a newer one. But once in a while we'll stop for a treat after her symphony class, her orchestra class. Okay, now we have 3 little candy canes. Let's cut those out. Okay, here's 2. Then we need 1 more. food in it. I'm having a hard time with this last candy cane. It's giving me problems. If I didn't need it, I would be putting it in the punishment box. Okay, here's my 3 little candy canes. Okay. Oh, okay. Sometimes it's hard to believe Michelle's been doing classes for so long. She does not seem old enough for that. At least I feel like. But she's been doing classes for a long time. Okay, let's see. We have 3 little candy canes. Now we need some words. And I kind of want a Merry Christmas, and I don't see one in this set. But I'm going to borrow this, you know what, this from the Jar of Joy. Wishing you the sweetest Christmas, because I think that's perfect with the candy canes. I think cookie decorating is fun. I always liked it. We did it a couple times with Girl Scouts too. We had a lady come and she brought each of the girls a kit. They got to decorate 3 cookies, I think. And they had 3 different colors of frosting in little frosting bags. They had a little special tool to use. And it was really a lot of fun. We haven't done that this year, but it was really a lot of fun when we did it before. And the girls really liked it. They do have great cupcakes. I've gotten them there before. My friend Laura brought me some for my birthday this summer. So I guess I knew they were still there. I just haven't seen anything from them lately. Okay, I'm going to stamp my sentiment in real red. And don't be alarmed, but my real red looks a little funny. So if you ever see it, look how wobbly it is. I don't know if you can tell or not, but it's definitely not flat at all. So when I'm stamping with it, I have to be a little careful. Okay, here we go. Wishing you the sweetest Christmas. So cute. Okay. Now, that's got to go back in the Jar of Joy. We did Christmas cards at the card class on Friday too, at in-person card class. And they turned out really good. And I do have extra kits, so if anyone is interested in an extra kit from Friday's class, I have some. Okay, now we're going to fussy cut one more time. I started having a menu board up in my kitchen, and every day I try to write what's going to be for dinner. And today I could not for the life of me think of anything. On the board I put mystery stew or mysterious stew, and not one single person made a comment about it. I thought for sure somebody would comment on that mysterious stew, and no one did. Now last week, one of the days was empty, and someone wrote 2 cookies and a slice of Swiss cheese. I don't remember if I told you guys that last week or not, but I was like, what? I'm still not sure who put that on there. Okay. Let's put our card together. And we can use our white ribbon again, because I think that'll look really cute on this card. So what we'll do is cut a piece that's longer than our top layer and put a glue dot on either end. I do feel like there's a lot of leftovers up there though, so if they really are hungry, they don't have to eat the mysterious stew, whatever that ends up being. At this point, I have no idea. All right. Okay, that is going to be our layer. So let's glue that down, and this time we're going to glue it down flat. A lot of the time I will use dimensionals on a layer that has ribbon on it, but this ribbon is fairly thin, so I don't think it's going to cause any big trouble with lumpiness, because that's usually why I would put a dimensional under it, so that it wouldn't be lumpy. But it's embossed and the ribbon is thin, so it should not be lumpy. Okay, there's our layer, and then we'll tie another piece of ribbon around here so that we can get our bow to go sideways. At least that's what I'm thinking. Okay, I tightened it a little too early, and now it's trying to go crooked. Okay, so in general, if I want my bow to be sideways, I usually have to add one piece and then tie a second little bow around it. Now if I were to wrap it all the way around and tie a bow, I know that it would not go the way I want it to go. Probably not ever. Okay, we're gonna take our little stamped piece. Let's see, and our words are gonna go on this side. So put our dimensionals on the back, and I'm gonna use 3 this time. Okay, and I'm going to try and get it pretty close to the middle, just because I like how it looks in the middle of those dots. Now, I have made cards where I've scooted it off to the side and put it. It's really good either way. Okay, and then our wishing you the sweetest Christmas can go right here. And I'm putting that on dimensionals too. Maybe just one, because it doesn't need a lot. It's not a very big sentiment. I'm just going to put it right there. And then I need some dimensionals for my little candy canes. We can do 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I'm just going to put them right over here, kind of in a little row. Maybe not in a row. I thought they were going to be in a row, but they're not. On the circle, I stamped some little sprinkles in green. So they're just stamped all over in garden green. They are these little sprinkles right here. Can you see those? The light's a little funny, but they're just some little sprinkles. There's like a little heart, a little star, a little candy cane, and a little tree. I didn't notice at first that they had those little shapes in there, but I love them. Yes, lumpiness problems. I don't like lumpiness problems, Karen. I was talking about you earlier. You missed it. You'll have to go back and listen and see what you think. Okay, so here is our last card. And let's add some of those little shiny pearls. Here's our take a pick tool. Ah, where should our little pearls go? I think I'm having a hard time deciding. Maybe up here. And let's do all little ones this time. Let's just do a whole bunch. 1, 5. There's 5. There's a little scattering of them. It was not in a bad way, Karen. I was just talking about cookie decorating. I know it's probably too close to Christmas, and we have a lot of work to do for Santa's. Do still like to think about some cookie decorating. Okay, here is our last card. So there's 1 or 3, 2, and remember we colored that ribbon. So if you don't have ribbon, that's the color you want it, you can color it. 2, 1. So aren't they cute? Ah, I'm so glad you're in. Okay, we're gonna do it. You will figure out what when you're available. Okay, there are our cards for tonight. So if you want to get the kit to make those cards, all you need to do is place your order and choose me as your demonstrator this week. So by Saturday at 11:59, and I will cut and sort a kit and I will get it in the mail to you after your order comes through. So I hope that you're having a good week, that you're ready for this week, and that you're looking forward to the Christmas season and all the wonderful things that come with it. And until I see you again, happy stamping. I'll be back, let's see, the first Sunday of December. I'll see you then. Until then, happy stamping.